Okay, this can be a tough text completion until you crack it, and until you focus on the right blank. And I think it's a good example of the idea, especially on the difficult text completions, that there's not just this one perfect way that works. Sometimes you can come up with your own words, other times it's better to plug them in. Sometimes you work with the first, sometimes the second, and indeed sometimes even the last blank, as we'll see here. So that's exactly where I'm going to start. You skim, you see the first two blanks are a little bit confusing, you're not sure, and you get to the end and it says claiming that academics are sensible enough not to blank unattributed sources. So you can rely here on the idea that academics and unattributed sources, a source that does not have any name, is not given a name where it's from, it's just floating around on the web. An academic is not likely or certainly sensible enough not to trust that source. And so we can just put that word trust in there or match that up with the word, with the answer choice here. Place credence in is believe, put faith in. Take issue with is the opposite, and express skepticism is also the opposite. Here it's the idea is that they will not, and remember that word not there, they are expressing skepticism, but they will, the opposite of that is rather, by putting that not there, you make it the opposite, so it's not believing in unattributed sources. Now we can move to the second blank, that the effects will be far more blank. So if academics are sensible enough not to trust them, then the effects aren't going to be that bad of what? The spread of uncredited web sources. Academics are sensible enough to know not to trust those sources. So therefore the effects will be benign. Subtle just means, doesn't really have this idea of the opposite of harmful the way benign does. And so a subtle effect could actually be an effect that's profound. But here, the effect is benign. It's not going to be negative. The opposite of that would be the first blank. Some argue this, while, notice that shift, others argue the opposite. What is that word that means harmful? And that word is pernicious. Minute just means small. Inestimable means you can't really put a value on something. And just like that, there are three answers.